Hey folks, I'm so sorry I'm a few minutes late. I do genuinely apologise. Today has been a really busy day for me. I've been sorting out carbon fibre plates. Carbon fibre plates got delivered today on a bank holiday Monday, which is crazy. So yeah, I've been sorting out some of those. I've been prepping for the stream. I had to do 2 lots of prep because the first board I prepped for, which you can just see down here in the small picture, we're going to talk about in a minute. I can't rebuild even though I wanted to. I want to talk about why, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to do instead. What else we're going to do? We're going to have a look at 8008 today, or Boob as it's commonly known. It wasn't Royal Mail, no, it was DHL that delivered, or TNT. TNT actually, it was TNT, not DHL. I apologise. But TNT, yes, they delivered today. So we're going to do a few things today. We are going to look at the ANSI, which is this board here. You can see down on the bottom camera. This is what I was going to rebuild today, but we're not going to be able to rebuild it. And the reason why is because when this board shipped, it shipped with a tool that helped you undo the screws. Now these are Torx screws, but as you can see, the holes are quite narrow and deep. I'll show you that a little bit closer on the top camera when we flip the views. And the board did come with a tool to be able to do it, and I've lost that tool. I thought it was in the box that the board got delivered in. It wasn't. I then thought I'd got it in my little jar that I keep just up here off stream. It wasn't. I then thought it might be in my drawer just to the side of me. It wasn't. I then thought it might have been in the garage. It wasn't. So I don't know where it is or what I've done with it, but I have ordered a new one. So we're not going to build this board today. We'll actually build this board next week. So instead of this board, which is the ANSI, I'll be rebuilding my Prophet today. So yeah. So we'll be looking at that in a little bit. I'll show you the Prophet before we build it. What we are going to do first, though, is we're going to put 8008 on the ANSI and see how that looks from a keycap perspective. Because I've still not opened my keycaps, the 8008 keycaps, so I'm excited to do so. Once we've done that, we're then going to take a little break after we've rebuilt the Prophet. We'll probably do a little bit of a Q&A towards the end of it, but we'll take a little bit of a break, 5 minutes. I'll nip to the loo, get another drink, all of that kind of stuff, and then we will be building some Lego. So we'll crack back on with the Batman Lego build. I think we're on step 128 or something like that. So we'll start that back off. We'll do another couple of bags of Lego. We'll see where it goes. I've got a ton of games to give away again, so do watch out for that as well. I'm going to be giving those out during the stream today. We're going to just raffle them off and just do random silly stuff to give them away. Try and make it as fun as possible. So, without much further ado, let's see who is in chat and who got first today. So first came from Vogon PT, who subscribed for 6 months, a 6-month streak, and said first. And yes, sir, you were. Unicorn855 came second and said hello, everyone. Pingu said not first, I guess. No, Pingu, you were about half an hour too late. Karch is here as well. Anarchy's here too. Max Surfy burps, nice. Very, very pleasant. 4 minutes to find that tool. Yeah, I couldn't find the tool. I've had to switch the build, which it's fine because I was going to use the same switches in both builds, so it's not too bad. Derek's here as well. Looped Helios, watching Valorant streams at the same time. Nice. I don't get the hype behind it either, so I'm not quite sure. It doesn't look enticing to me. I've been playing on the TV behind me Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is excellent so far. About 5 hours into it and loving that. Who else have we got? It's Logo for Poops here. Mr. Hinks is here as well. Penguin Droppings is here. El Pepe 21 says, what y'all? I got the call. The Clack alarm went off. Tronics 41's here as well. Depleted Vespines here. Hero San. Crash subscribes for 3 months and says, hi Jay. Hi Crash. Man, I have not spoken to you for so long. I hope you're doing okay. Mr. Hinks says, nice beard. Yeah, it's growing in thick and full and fast at the minute. Yeah, this is about 2.5 weeks growth, so it's coming in thick and full. Derek subscribed as well with Twitch Prime, subscribed for 3 months. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thoughts on the 7V? I think it's a lovely looking board. It's not for me because it doesn't do ISO, but I think it looks great. I think the plate's really interesting, and the mounting style is really interesting as well. I think it'll do great in group buy. If it doesn't sell 350, 500 units or whatever, because I think it's open, I don't think it's limited, I'll be very, very surprised. Jay's starting to look like a proper lumberjack. Well, the barbers are shut, so I can't go and get a trim and everything else, so that's just how it works. Who else is here? KBPP checking out what we're giving away. We're going to give away some video games today. I do have a link from Satanicus. Hold on, let me just find it out. That's James AKB. Let me find it out because he was keeping track of all my giveaway codes for me. So let me see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. I found it. Okay, cool. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 games we're going to give away today. So that's lots and lots of giveaways. 18. So we'll start working through those. What else are we talking about? So Vogon's here as well. Yeah, we talked about Vogon. Jay Flipside is here. Hey crew, Nora MTG tuning in. Nice, good to see you, man. Good to see you. People throwing around the ESD protection term like the hottest new thing. Nice. Stupak's here as well. Boomers ain't buying the hype. Yeah, absolutely. I assume you mean Valorant. Yeah, I'm just not getting it. Boomers, you're right. Whitsellers is here. Subscribed for 10 months. Says, hope everyone is doing well. Thank you very much, dude. Yes, I'm doing great. I hope you are too. Crash says, doing great. Hoping to build my first ISO. Nice. Which board is that, Crash? Which board are you going to build in ISO layout? Okay, I think we've pretty much caught up. Can I have a Valorant keep? Sure. Is audio desynced? It shouldn't be. I was testing it earlier on. It looked fine. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Can anyone give me a PS4 Pro so I can play Final Fantasy VII Remake, please? No. No. Dying for FF7. I'm about 5 hours into it. It's absolutely fantastic. It was great yesterday. So, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything or tell anyone where I've got to. Just in case, because I don't want to spoil anything. I think that'd be unfair of me to do. But I'm about 5 hours into it, and it's good fun. I'm really struggling about what I can say without giving stuff away. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it so far. It is absolutely fantastic. So big fan already. Brings back a lot of memories from playing the original one. So yeah, there is an ISO keyboard in the game. Yeah, it's some weird kind of US ISO layout, but it does have an ISO enter key, and I thought it was silly when I found that. At Top, I'm going to build a clipper with Doddle 60 PCB and cam fiber plate. Nice! Are you one of the Doddle 60 owners then? So those have shipped from Gondolindrum to me, I think, now. He hasn't given me tracking yet, but he has shipped them. So as soon as they come in, I've got all of the people who ordered plates at the same time. I'll ship all of those out as quickly as I can. They'll turn around in a day. So as soon as I get them in, they'll be straight out to whoever's bought them. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Jay looks like he's slowly turning into Father Christmas. Man, don't. I don't ever grow a full beard. I always keep this bit, but this is kind of like the longest it's been in like 3 or 4 years. My hair's too long. It's falling all over the place. Yeah, I need a barber and quick. So we'll see how it goes. But it's better to stay safe and stay home than have a good haircut. So there we go. I think Jay looked. Yeah. Don't spoil it. I'll shut off the stream. Fair enough. Okay. Let's flip over to the camera in a second, and then once we flipped over to the other camera, we'll make a start and take a look at 8008 on the ANSI, which I think should go quite well. It's sort of adorable. My wife actually keeps stroking it all the time, and she really likes the fact that my hair is, because this is just freshly washed. There's nothing in this. This is just washed. This is kind of how my hair goes out of the shower, and she thinks it's really cute because I haven't had to put any product in it for like 6 weeks. So it's just really soft to touch. Yeah. Coffee at this time, you madman. Yeah, I need to stay awake because I'm tired, and I've had a long day making cardboard boxes and packaging up plates and getting ready to ship them. And I think I've made about 60 labels today, 400 boxes, and quality control a ton of stuff. So I was up crack of dawn this morning doing all of that. So I got knocked up at 6:10. That's what time the TNT man came. 6:10 on a bank holiday Monday morning. Go figure. So there we go. Right, let me flip over to the other camera so you can see a little bit better. Ta-da! There we go. So you can actually see things the right way around now. So when I wave my hand, it goes like that, which it didn't do before. So on the other cameras, because I need to flip those, I need to remember. Yeah. So yeah, coffee, need it this time of day. For those that you don't remember, this is the ANSI. We built this on stream probably about a year ago now. So custom name badge up here in the top corner. I do have one that says J as well, but in this lovely plum colour. I think the Iron 165 is going to ship in a very similar colour to this. Just flipping the board over, mine is lucky number 13 because 13 is my lucky number. 13 of 25, patinaing nicely, as you can see. So what I did want to do today was rebuild this, because I do have a brass plate which I've left in the garage just patinaing nicely over the past year or so. That looks really good. I'm happy with how that's come along, and a spare plate. And I did want to rebuild it with black Gatoron switches, which are here. However, the challenge I've got is the board came in a really nice box, really nice packaging. It came with this desk mat as well. I went full out. I got everything prepped for the stream so it all matched everything else. And the challenge I've got is that on the reverse, the screw holes here that you can see, these are actually really deep, and they have Torx screws on the bottom. Now in my head, it was actually Allen keys or hex keys. But it wasn't, it's Torx, and my Torx bits aren't deep enough. Now the board did ship with one which had a yellow handle. I remember, I can picture it in my head. It was yellow with a black end, and that just was long enough and thin enough to fit in and undo the screws, and away you go. I can't find it. I genuinely cannot find it. So I've ordered another one, so we'll be able to rebuild this next week. So it'll be here from Amazon at some point during the week. I'll be able to rebuild it, take it apart and everything else. So instead of building this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put 8008 on it. So I haven't opened this set yet. This has come in from my keyboard just last week. This is my first experience with the new trays. This is fully unopened. I have seen other people open them. And I do have the spacebar kit as well, so I have seen the spacebar kit, and I've seen the caps from the spacebar kit, but again, as you can see, I haven't taken anything out of the packaging. Oh, there's another spacebar there as well. There we go. Enemy's friend says, I put 8008 on my minivan just half an hour ago. Nice. Well, I'm going to put it on this. I think that the grey is going to look great on this. I'm not so sure about the pink, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And also, I'm going to get a chance to take a look at... sorry, I just need a knife. At these new the new GMK trays. Because this is my first experience of them. Now, I've seen other people's reviews, and they have some concerns over them, to say the least. So we'll see how that goes. Polythene comes off nicely. Okay, just a bit of cardboard, nice. And then under here, I assume we have the keys. Oh, so I could hear these rattling around, but that's actually not too bad. I thought these were going to be all over the place, but they're actually not too bad. I've seen a lot worse than this. I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of people with a lot worse outcomes when these have shipped, so I'm kind of surprised that these are as neat and tidy as they are. And if that was just as bad as it got, I'm kind of okay with that. Now, I know that these aren't going to change, and you know, GMK are going to keep on using these trays. That's not going to change. I kind of think I like how this looks. There we go. Okay, so that's all nice and neatly done. Let's have a look at the tray underneath. Okay, so I think that looks alright. They look pretty good. Yeah, you must eat the tray. I'm not eating the tray, don't be silly. My biggest regret of 2019, I didn't actually join the group buy for this. I meant to, and then I didn't, and then I actually bought this from mykeyboard.eu. I was talking with, mykeyboard.eu, go check them out, guys. One of the best vendors in the EU. I spoke to the guys at Necroman and Necroman, and they said they'd got an extra in, and I said, oh, I'll pick it up then, why not? And they shipped it with my GMK Merlin key set as well. All the caps will be upside down and flipped. They weren't too bad. No, it was all right. There's no cracks on my tray. Eating the tray is a new weird fad. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. Doesn't that scratch them all up? I don't think so. They look all right. They look all right. I keep them in mason jars usually, and I've never had the keycaps scratch themselves. So no. What board is on the right? This is the ANSI. That's what we're going to put the keycaps on. That's the J01 if you mean the board on the left. This is my left hand, that's the left. I'm not sure what side of your screen that's on, but that's the left for me. Not a fan of the new patch. I don't think it's terrible. This being biodegradable is really good though. Having these trays being biodegradable is great. Seems like the issue could be avoided entirely if they just implemented some retention features on top. Maybe, yeah. I mean, if they just put an empty one of these on top. When I took this top one off, this one was fine. So if they just put an empty tray on top, that would fix it. Okay. Tay Dead. I don't care what Nathan Kim does. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. I'm not biting it. That's not how this works. All we need to do is add more cardboard to the middle part of the cover. Yeah, I'll just make this thicker. Just make this thicker, or have it fold in such a way that it actually clips onto it, or something like fold around the edges. KVS is here saying, what's going on, Jay? I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Show ANSI enter, please. The pink one or the regular one? Here's the pink one. Bless me. My hay fever is going nuts today. We mowed the grass again yesterday, and today my hay fever has been really terrible. If you want to see the normal one, there you go. Okay, so let's try popping the key set on the board and see how we get on. Give that JO1 the R2. So the round 2 of the JO1 is going to happen at some point soon. It's not quite ready to go yet, but it will be relatively shortly. Now, I don't believe this had ISO UK support in the base kit. I think it's just, yeah, it's just random support. So let's go with, so it's just ANSI support technically in terms of legends for the number. JO3 will be a little bit longer, I'm afraid. Jay Saints, thank you very much for the 7 months of subs. I thoroughly appreciate that, my dude. I might have to take a quick break and grab some tissue, guys, because my my hay fever is really bad. Give me 1 second, guys, then we'll finish off with this. Apologies, hay fever, runny nose, all of that kind of good stuff. Oh, there we go, that's better. No UK support, it's just random support. Yeah, what I meant is it's random ISO support, as in it's just kind of like basic ISO coverage. I just didn't get my words out quite properly, that's all. But at least the 2 ISO keys that go on row 3 and row 4 are not the same, which is always a bugbear of mine. Hay Fever Club offers instant hugs. Thank you. My hay fever is terrible today. I usually get it right at the very beginning of summer, and I think it's because I'm more allergic to tree pollen than grass pollen. Grass pollen is usually a couple of weeks behind. Penguin Dropping says JO1 first. Yeah, the JO1's likely going to come first because we're working on the redesign of that at the moment. So it will be slightly different. The mounting system, you will be pleased to know, will remain the same. So the mounting system won't change. There will be some changes to the case. From the top down it will look identical, but there will be some changes from the case to try and make it a little bit cheaper to produce. So we're going to make it a seamless 2-piece aluminum case with a screw-in pen rail, brass pen rail. Okay, so we went stepped caps on this, so we can't do the caps on just yet. I Love Chuletas says JO1, do you see it going midsummer for the run? Yeah, probably midsummer now. I'd imagine it's going to be end of this month before we finish the design off, then 3 or 4 weeks for me to prototype it, and then 3 or 4 weeks after that for the group buy, realistically. COVID has just slowed everything down, I'm afraid. Plus, prototypist, the business has picked up there a little bit in terms of what I'm proxying and what key sets we've got running and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of slowing me down a little bit as well, but it will happen. It will be this year. Yeah, Derek, I really dislike the when it's the row 3 and row 4 keys for ISO are the same key. It just does not make sense to me why anyone would ever want that. So as long as they're different, I'm usually placated by that, as long as there's coverage. Screwed from underneath, or do you see the screw heads on the rail from the top? So on the JO1 redesign, you won't be able to see the screws for the rail on the outside of the case, if that makes sense. The screws will be internally hidden in the board. Okay. Yeah, I like that pen rail. Well, the JO2, which is behind me, you can't quite see it. The JO2 is behind me just there. That's got the same pen rail. That ran in group buy in February, should be shipping later on this year. So I'm excited for that as well. Now guys, what you do need to decide for me is whether we use the accent ISO enter or whether we just use the standard mod coloured ISO enter. Are they 1.5U as well? Yes, they are. There we go. What boards am I getting this month? Oh gosh, I have no idea what's shipping this month. I don't think I've actually got any boards coming in at all this month, unless I buy something that's already shipped and someone's got it. I don't think I have anything coming. I can't think of anything I've got coming. Everyone's saying the standard colour, so this is just the mod colour enter. That's what we're going to use on this. I think that looks quite nice. I think you're right. I think the pink would not have worked with the plum colour of the board. It'd just be too bright, right? I think you guys are right. Okay, there's the R3 key, and as you can see, the R4 key is different. So sometimes that legend is there. Now I know Depleted Vespene will argue that that's the right way of doing it. I think it's the wrong way of doing it. We can agree to disagree. Now where is stepped caps? There is. There are more than one way to skin a cap. So there we go. Excuse me again. My nose is being terrible today. Okay, let's put the arrows on. I need to dig out the 1.75U shift key. Now I'm sure that this set did run with it, so I'm interested to see where that is. Would you ever consider running a J-series board with the Tux TCV3? Like, as much as I love that board, no, I probably wouldn't. Enemy's Friend, do you like the face still? I think they're alright. They're not the best switches. That's why I wanted to rebuild this with Gator on Blacks. I think they're a better switch overall. But you know, I don't think they're terrible. I think I much prefer JWK switches these days, or Duroc switches. Okay, then I'm just going to put some keys up here. So we've got print screen, and then we need a page up. One thing I don't like about these trays is where all of the new keys are. It's kind of confusing. In fact, I've put that in the wrong spot. That needs changing. It's the wrong profile. There is one just here. So this would be my biggest gripe, but this is just a thing that I'll need to learn, which is where these keys are. And then we'll put the FN. In fact, we'll put the super key in there. Why not? There we go. Okay. So that's 8008. It's looking pretty nice. It looks nicer than I expected it to. I thought it would be a bit too bright and a bit too garish for me. I'm glad that I'm wrong. Just pop that out of the way. I think if I'd have used any of these pink keys, it would definitely have been too garish. So it's really, really bright as that pink. But just as it is there, I think it looks quite nice. So there you go, guys. What do you think? How nice does that go? That goes really, really well with this plum colour, right? I'm really, really excited to see how this matches up to the iron plum colour. Now, I didn't buy a plum iron, but I did say that I would build anyone who got one for free because I got the FE version, and I think I ended up having to promise to build about 6 for free. So I'm really excited to see how this looks, how the plum on the iron compares to this, because I think they're going to be really similar. But I'm really surprised at how well that key set works with this board. I think that this might be this key set's permanent home because that looks really, really good. Way better than I was expecting it to. So yeah, there we go. So that's the ANSI and 8008. That's the board we couldn't build today because I've lost the tool. Let's catch up with chat and see what we're talking about. Salvin says, "Let me please clean that brass and coat it." No, I like brass to be patinated. I can clean it and coat it myself. I've got a sandblasting cabinet, but I like it. This is brass as well. I like it when brass gets patina on it and starts to age and look old. I like that. That's this has just been left in my garage, hung up on the wall for the past year, and it's just gone like this naturally. I like that. I like patina on boards. That's what I want. That's why I choose to use brass sometimes, and that's definitely why I tend to pick copper a lot of the time as well. Just seen the Bordos group buy has gone live. Oh, has it gone live? Wow, nice. I shall have to build my other Borsdorf then, because I'm excited to do that. I'm not chewing the case, guys. I'm not eating the case. Borsdorf's really nice. Do you want to see a Borsdorf, guys? Here you go, guys. This is my Borsdorf. So this was one that I built on stream maybe 10 months ago. Look at that curve. Look how beautiful that curve is. This is Cerakoted is this one, and it is the Founders Edition of the Borsdorf. There you go. I do have another one identical. This has got brown Alps in. I will be building the other one with salmon Alps, but yeah, this logo doesn't come on it. That was just me. That's just hot glued on. But yeah, absolutely stunning board. So there you go. That's the Borsdorf. It's really nice. What stabs? I don't actually use stabs on Alps. That doesn't need any stabs. This doesn't need any stabs. The only key that's got any stabs on is a spacebar, and that uses standard Alp stabilizer. So there you go. Okay. So there you go. There's the link. Yeah, buy Borsdorf. I've got two. I think they're great. Gouty, I know I still promised to lend you one when I build the next one. You can still borrow it. That's fine. I just need to actually build it. I'll probably build it next week actually if the Borsdorf's running in live in group buy. That's definitely what I want to do. At least it ain't anorexic isoenter. It is the anorexic isoenter. It is. So there we go. New one is going to be even better. Oh well, I expect free replacements then, Sullivan. If your new ones are going to be better, I expect a free replacement for my old ones that are crap and terrible, if that's how you're going to play it. Thank you very much for that. I'll look forward to my package in the post when you ship the group buy. What do you think, folks? If Salvin says a new one's going to be even better, should I get the old ones? Saltwood Clamp, how do we order the Borsdorf from the USA? Is it only running on my keyboard? I thought it was actually running on a few other proxies as well. I didn't realise it was my keyboard only. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't have time to research to see. But as far as I was aware, it was worldwide and it was on mykeyboard.eu, or they were going to have proxies. I didn't think it was just for an EU group buy. If you can't sort of clamp, I will happily proxy you one. Just buy it, have it delivered to me, and I'll send it on to you when it arrives. I'm more than happy to do it. But I'm pretty sure that my keyboard lot will send them to you overseas. Pretty sure that they'll support that some way or other. Okay. Okay, let's go. So for USA, DM Necro from mykeyboard.eu. Mykeyboard.eu, you can see the tag up there. One of the best vendors in the EU. Go check out the site, do the thing, click the button, spend some money with them. Go support those guys in any way you can. Go support Darth WTF, who's behind the Borsdorf. He's a really good guy, and I absolutely love both of my Borsdorfs. I think they're great boards. Yes, so if you buy outside of the EU, they will refund VAT and stuff. As you put it, yes, they're quite good. Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, I was half joking, sort of. I'm pretty sure they will offer you a facility to be able to get it outside of the EU, and I'm pretty sure it's going to sell hundreds. I don't think it'll only sell 10 or 20 or something. It'll sell hundreds. It'll do really well. So let them sort it out for you. But if anyone does have any issues, then just reach out to them, and they'll support you in any way, shape, or form you need to. I'm sure they're really, really good people. Anyway, without much further ado, I'll talk about the build that we're going to do today, which, as I say, is because I've lost a tool that's long enough and thin enough to open the ANSI up. So we are going to rebuild the Prophet, which is this board here. So for those that you remember, I built this board, must be nearly a year ago now. And here is the base. We did some infill on the base. Come on, focus, you damn thing. Which looks pretty good. That's just black 2.0 in there. Looks pretty good. Plenty of fingerprints on the board because it does get a fair bit of use as this. And this is built with GMK Red Samurai keycaps and the Keepora there as well. One of my favourite ones. Looks great. This one was built with a half nylon plate. Yes, what we're actually going to be building with today is something a little bit different. We're going to be building with, this is the ISO variation of the build I've got. We're going to be building with a half carbon fibre ISO plate and with the original Prophet PCB as well. So this is the original Prophet PCB. You can see the Prophet's there, little cable car logo as well. So you're going to be rebuilding with this combination today, which should be fun and interesting. So we'll talk about the insides of the board and how the board all mounts and stuff like that once we've built this together. But we'll make excuse me, we'll make a start. The first thing to do is to get some stabilizers ready. Now, because of the keycap set I've chosen for this, which I'll show you guys towards the end of the stream, when we put keycaps on towards the end of the first half of the stream, because don't forget we're going to be building some Lego after we've done this. What I'll show you then is the later on is the keycaps, as I say. Now, because I've chosen that, I do have to do full right shift, so that might give you some clues as to what type of keycaps these might be. We also have to go 7U spacebar because there's no other choice, but luckily that is the size spacebar that this plate permits, 7U. So that is how we're going to build the board. First thing to do is to put the stabilizers together and lube those up nicely. So I'm just going to put the inserts into the housings. These are Everglide stabilizers and they're in a kind of like a smoky grey colour. It looks better than Amir's after the abuse. Yeah, so Amir's actually got finally shipped to me. So Amir shipped his to me this time last year, July, August time maybe actually, and he asked me to just sandblast the case for him, where he'd put some infill in, but he'd used, so like mine, he tried to infill it, but instead of using a water-based paint, he used a solvent-based paint, not a solvent-based paint, a resin-based paint, and it kind of got in all of the brass, because his was a brass base, and you couldn't really clean it out of the brass without taking it into a sandblaster. At the time, I don't think he knew solvent, so he asked me to do it, so he sent it to me, and it just never arrived. It just didn't arrive. It went in the post, we tracked it for weeks, months, and it never got here. I think he then tried to put in a claim against the postal company. I'm not sure what happened there, and then randomly about 3 weeks ago it turned up on eBay. So he bought it immediately and then had it shipped to me because it was in the UK. I tidied it up a little bit and then sent it straight back to him. But yeah, I didn't sandblast or anything, so Salvin, I think it might end up on its way to you for that eventually. Yeah, it just ended up randomly on eBay, yeah. Chet, thank you very much for the subscription. Can I convince to make red in the production, please? It's not up to me what Max runs. He can run whatever he likes. You know, they're his choices. If I ever get a 40%, I'll build it with big ass enter just to make it even worse. Nice. JO1 looks so good. Minterly, thank you very much for it. I think you built a JO1 though, didn't you? I'm pretty sure you built UPass's JO1 at one point, which is kind of exciting to have other people build my boards. It's really genuinely heartwarming to see people out there and enjoying them. So I'm just going to lube up these stabilizers as we put them together. I do mine very differently to other people. There's no right or wrong way. As long as you're happy with them, that's all that counts. So I'm just going to lube up the wires. Put a nice amount of lube on here. We're not putting too much on, but we just want to put enough on to make sure that it's coated. Once we've done that, we're going to take the housing. We're going to drop it into the inside of the housing, going in the bottom hole, and then clip it into the front. Make sure that moves. It's all looking okay. We're going to flip it around and do the other side. Now this is just dielectric grease that we're using here. Yeah, the reason I've got it in an egg cup is because I buy this stuff by the gallon, because I use it on cars quite a lot, and when you're putting the schmoo on cars, well, you don't just use a brush, you kind of use your finger, and you dip your finger and you whack it on, get a nice thick layer everywhere. That's way more than you need from a keyboard, so I just fill up this egg cup whenever I'm going to be using it. That's the space bar done. I think I'm a wire short here, so I'm going to have to dig another wire out in a second. Okay. So when we're looping this, just making sure we come around the front corner as well. Make sure there's not too much on there. If there's too much on there, you're just going to gum the stabs up and they're going to struggle to open and close. It's always easy to add more lube later than it is to remove it, so make sure you don't add too much. My hay fever, man. I'm so sorry if my hay fever is upsetting to any of you guys. It is genuinely terrible today. What are the stabilizers of choice these days? So I tend to prefer to use Duroc or Everglide stabilizers these days. Other stabilizers are available and are good. GMK has slightly gone down in quality since they retooled them last year. Normally they would have been my bang for buck choice, but right now Duroc or Everglide stabilizers are what I would pick. If money's no object, then the QC on Zeals is pretty much unbelievably good. But they are a little bit more expensive, and they're almost identical in terms of feel and sound. So to these, so it's always worth bearing that in mind. OG GMK, yes, I am using OG GMK on this. It will be die subs now. Sorry, double shots, not die subs. Oh, wait, is it? No, die subs. We are using German OG die subs for this build today. I think they'll just look quite nice with the red, and they'll set it off nicely. Hey Jay, I asked earlier, but what are your thoughts on the half plate on this particular board? With the group buy coming up, I was going to pick up a nylon and polypropylene full plates, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on preference for the sound or feel of the Prophet in particular. So I haven't tried this board with a full plate. The only thing I've tried on this board is a nylon half plate. That's the only other plate I have, and that's in this build here. It's very quiet. It has got some flex to it, but not a huge amount of movement. I think there's some foam in that as well, but I can't remember. I'd have to take it apart to confirm if there's foam in there or not. It sounds really quiet, so I suspect there might be. I did use it for a workboard for a while, so it doesn't surprise me if there is foam in there. Postman be flipping on eBay. I think what happened is the Amir board got lost by Parcel Force or whoever he shipped it with, and then what they have is they have auctions every 6 months or so for unlabeled parcels that they've lost and paid claims on. So I suspect that that's what happened with it. But that's just complete speculation on my part. I could be completely wrong. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that's all of those lubed up in terms of the wires. What we're going to do now is just lube the side of the sliders. So I'm just going to lube the side of the sliders. This is easier to do once they're together. You don't want to put too much on here. Again, you'll just gum it up. You want a really thin layer, and this is just to help it slide up and down. A really thin layer. Use 205 grade 0 here if you want to as well. Any lube will be good. Tend not to prefer oils on stabilizers. And the main reason for that is just because it runs out and it gets all over your PCB and it doesn't look great in the long term. It needs topping up more often as well, but dielectric grease works well too. It was like £60 Pingu, not 50, £60. Yeah, the guy just didn't know what he had. I think he'd found the group by thread on Geekhack when he'd googled profit keyboard, but I don't think he really knew what he had. Hope the thief's account was at least reported to eBay. I believe it was. I believe Amir sorted all of that out. He just literally had it sent to me because he had my address from the previous time we tried to get it over here. And then as soon as it arrived, I took a ton of pictures for him and then sent it straight back on the next working day over to him. So literally like less than a week after I got it, he got it. I think I got it on the Friday. It shipped back out to him on the Tuesday, and then he got it by the Wednesday. So. Yeah, Upas is the gasket big sad to put together, but also once everything won't fit right. So mentally, what you'll be pleased to know is if you ever do a JO2, what we've actually done is you've still got the 3 layers of gaskets, but they have now got a little trick to them. So mentally, look, this is the gaskets, very, very similar to what you've seen on the JO1, but black in colour instead of red. But they have adhesive on the rear. So now you put one in the bottom case, you will put one on the top case, and then when you put the plate in, you put one around the plate, and they all stick together, and it works. It works really, really well. So there we go. There we go. So I hope that's made it better for you, and I hope you'll agree that's a big, big step up. Now there are only 15 JO1s out there, 16 JO1s out there, so not many people had to go through with all of that pain. And for the future run of JO1 as well, we'll be using the adhesive gaskets too, just like we have on the JO2. Okay, so that's all of our stabilizers now nicely lubed. Pop that back to one side. Let's catch up with chat before we do the next one. I hope the thief was accountable reported. Yes, we talked about that. No more injection stab lubing method. So the reason why I stopped doing that is because the dielectric grease I was using for that was a lot thinner, and it just ran out over time, and it was more of an experiment to see how well it worked. It worked great for then, and it lasted maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then it needed topping up again. So going back to the old method and the thicker dielectric grease. That's all. Just experimenting. You ever have issues with Jurk housings being too loose? I haven't yet had a good batch, which I'm still hesitant to refer those. I've never had any problems with them at all. Never had any problems with them mentally. I think they've always been fine. I've probably had maybe, I don't know, 40 builds with them now, and every single one seems just fine. I think I've had one single housing, which was on one side of the stabilizer, that didn't work properly, and that had just effectively bent forward, and this is why I mentioned earlier on that Zeals were better with the QC. So I've never had that with a Zeal stabilizer. But yeah, I've never had a problem with them. Like, I've always been able to get like a full build out of a pack. Now I think what happens is a lot of the time, so I can probably kind of show you here actually. So I think what happens is a lot of people push them in, and when they're putting them into the board like this, so you can see, in fact, let me show you with the bottom one. So you can see there that that's in the board at the front end, but it kind of didn't want to go down. And I think what happens sometimes is you put them in like that and you bend this back part down, this part at the front breaks, and it breaks the clip off the front because they're a little bit weaker in terms of the plastic. So you can kind of see that vertically down here just how that is. And if I bent that now and pushed that in now, it would break the clip at the front and it wouldn't hold the wire in anymore. So I think that happens to some people's builds. But other than that, as long as you get them in right and they're going in fine, I haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. Yeah, no issues. He says now as he can't get this one in. There we go. Okay, so they're all nicely clipped in. Now we're just going to pop the screws in and screw those together. Thomas is 2112 says buying GMK bleach from Prototypist. Big up, that's my site. Yes, How could it be affected by the UK leaving the European Union? I was wondering about it, so now I wonder. So if you're in the EU, it shouldn't make a difference. Now, in the UK, that's where I'm based, there'll be no problems at all. Postage will happen as normal. Now, the other thing is that's happening with the EU is it's based on the times of sale. So when you buy from me, you pay VAT. When I get that VAT every 3 months, I have to pay that VAT to the government, and that's how the EU works right today. When those boards ship, they'll already be shipped with VAT paid on them. Sorry, when the key sets ship, they'll already be shipped with VAT paid on them, which means there'll be no customs duty you chargeable at the recipient country. They can't charge on it twice because they've had the money when the product was bought. If the product ships a little bit later, that's it. It goes by the time of sale, not by the time of shipment, and that's how the current way is set up. Now, that's one side of it. The other side of it as well is that it's due to ship this year. It's not going to ship after December, and there's no changes to the rules from the UK to the EU until after September. It takes place in 2021. The final part of this to consider as well is that even if something changes between the EU and the UK between now and January, or the key set ships in January, and the legal point around the sales is changed or doesn't count for whatever reason, then I will arrange to ship from Europe. That's kind of like a last resort thing, but if that happens, I'll arrange to ship from Europe. So there's 3 different options. All of them should equate to you have no problems. The final thing to consider as well is that Brexit is likely to be delayed from that perspective because of COVID-19. So whilst Brexit has already taken place, none of the rules actually change until January 2021. Realistically, I think that's probably going to become 6 months later because COVID-19 has slowed everything down. So there shouldn't be any issues at all getting your key sets to you. I hope that allays your fears, puts your minds at rest, but if you've got any further questions, do feel free to ask away. Thought white was non-gasket. Yeah, I was tempted to make the J01 rerun half gasket mount, and I swiftly changed my mind on that. Okay, so there we go, guys. You can see that all of these are now together. Tight CF plate, there we go. That's all held in. The plate fits perfectly in terms of the positioning of focus of the stabilizers, so everything is all good. Now it's just time to put some switches in. We'll start off doing the outside, making sure that everything's in place for the plated area, and then once we've done that, we shall do the alpha area afterwards. My housing, at least 2 or 3 per batch, always have a loose clipping part, which makes them basically useless. I think that's QC mentally, or it's like the only. So when I've seen it, I've had it once or twice. I don't think I've got any spares. No, I've had it once or twice, and the wire wouldn't clip in. But I think that's always been my fault, and I've broken it as I've been trying to put the stabilizer into the board, like I showed you a minute ago. I think that's what's happened. They are more fragile than Zeal ones, for example. That being said, I don't like C3 stabilizers because they don't work with some PBT. With some PBT keycaps, so I don't like to recommend those. And cherry stabilizers just feel crap at the minute. The Zeal stabilizer is really expensive, so I think for me the Durastruct Everglides make the best of a bad situation at the minute. If you mean the J01 Nina line, I think 40 or 50. I haven't decided on a number yet, but I think 40 or 50. The new C3 will fix the PBT issue, yes, and that may mean that I will support them more going forward. It all depends on how well they work when I test them out. Yeah, if you've had them like that mentally, you've been unlucky, I think. I wonder if there's just batches of them that are good and bad. Most of the ones that I've got, I bought a couple hundred sets in the first round, so perhaps I've just got good ones and I've never experienced bad ones. Got a switch that's not quite closed properly here, guys. Can't get C3s from EU anymore. TKC has exclusivity. Yes, they do. I have asked them about that. There is nothing I can do about it, sadly. I asked if we could have mykeyboard.eu proxy them again. I was told no was the current answer. So these things happen sometimes. There's nothing we can do about it. If you do want them, you can buy them from Island KB, or you can get them from TKC. Yeah. What key set is that on the JO1? That is Honeywell, GMK Honeywell. This might be a really stupid question, but why do we have to pay VAT for GMK sets when they're produced in Germany? Isn't VAT usually added for imported goods outside the EU? No, every good you buy in the EU already has VAT included. Slick. So you go to the shop and you buy some milk, it's got VAT included. You go to any store, it's got VAT included. VAT is something that perceives all of our goods that we buy in the EU. It's just included in the price. It's like America's sales tax, but America's sales tax is added after the value. So if it's for sale for $99, they'll add sales tax on top of that, and then it'll be like $110 or whatever. In the EU, sales tax is 20%, but it's added to every single thing that sells. Now, it's different in each country. Some countries are anywhere between 15 and 25%. Here in the UK, it's 20%. If you buy something from my store, I pay 20% VAT on it to the government, to the taxman, pretty much immediately. That's not money I get back. I can offset it against VAT that I've paid on importing stuff, but that basically means that I've still paid it in the long run. I've just paid it before people who buy my products have paid me back for it effectively. I'm paying it in advance. So yeah, so every single product has VAT included in it. I'm done ignore me. No, it's not a dumb question. It's a good question to ask. It's a completely valid question. Gav says it's really alien going to America and buying something and then paying more than it was marked on the shelf at the tills register. Yes, it is. Yes. It annoys me, but I understand why the US does it that way. Agree. I can see why they do it that way. It's because each of the states has got different prices for different things, different sales taxes. But all of them are governed by one government. Here in the EU, all of the countries have their own governments, so it's a little bit easier to try and work it out. Around here we don't have the IVA, which is the same as VAT. Yeah, it comes under many forms and guises, sales tax, whatever you want to call it. There's something in every country with it. Novel Keys started to add tax. Yes, Novel Keys have this cool thing now where if you order from them and you're in the EU, they'll collect the VAT up front for you, and they will arrange it and pay it through their accountancy company and everything else, I assume. So it's already prepaid for you, or probably through the shipping companies actually. So that means that you don't have to pay import fees when it gets to the EU or UK or wherever you're based when you're buying it. What layout is this Prophet going to be? I only have one top for it, so it's going to be HHKB, which is why I have missed out these two switch holes here. I do need to do the caps lock. Now this has to be step caps lock because of the key set that I'm using. What's the point of half play? To have more consistency across your alpha keys. There'll be slightly more flex, more play in them, there'll be softer bottom out, and there'll be a softer sound profile as well. So that's the benefit of half play. 199.99 is so cheap, it's less than 200. Hey man, you'd be surprised at how well that works for so many people worldwide. Our sales tax vary from county to country, city within a state too. Oh right, okay, maybe that's why they don't include it. So in the EU, if whatever country you're in, it's their VAT rate. If it's different in the States, that's why they don't include it in the price. It would be a pain to do it and have, if you've got stores in 60 locations in the US, it'd be a pain to have to do different prices in every store. It's just easy to add the tax on at the end, yeah. Full backspace on HHKB. Yeah, well, it's ISO HHKB, which makes it even weirder. Now, I've never actually built a board with this particular layout before. If I've done HHKB and ISO, I've always split backspace, and I've always split right shift. So I've never actually had this particular layout before. When I bought this board from Max, I did ask for this layout for the plate. I think I might struggle with it, but we'll see how it goes. I'll use it for a week and see what we think. you drive to different states for big ticket items. Yeah, I guess if you drive far enough and it's not costing you as much in fuel, it might be cost effective to do that. Is a stiff plate preferable in a half plate build, or is a softer plate better? In your opinion, at least, if there's not a black and white. It's not a black and white question. I think it's different for everyone. I've never tried carbon fibre half plate before. This is completely new in terms of layout and build and everything else for me. So I can't answer a question I don't have experience of. It wouldn't be fair. No low thin ISO ends for this build. No, just standard. This is going to have German die-sub keycaps on it. Depleted Vespine, so we're going to be using German layout keycaps. At least I think they're German. That's how I've labelled the box, so we'll see. Yeah, okay, I see how you mean Apocalypse. It's like that across EU member states as well. So in the EU, for example, it just has to be above 15% as VAT, which is effectively our sales tax. So in the UK it's 20%, but then I think if you go to some other countries it's like 17 and 19%. So it's exactly the same, but you guys do it sometimes within a state as well. So there we go. That's all the switches in place. I looped far too many. ISO. We want everything to be the same. No. 24% in Iceland. It's fun. Man, that sucks. Uh-oh, I've joined an ISO stream. Yeah, man. Yeah, you have. This is an ISO stream. Invisibility say, bingo, any August 1994 Vints available. Oh no, they changed it after a month. They made them one month and they were Vints. They made them the next month and they weren't. Okay. So that's the build done, guys. We are going to solder it in a second, but there you go. Just show you this up close. It's looking pretty suave, pretty swifty, pretty tasty, covered in fingerprints. Next thing to do is to solder this, so we'll get some solder. And now is the time, guys, for you to ask me any questions. If you have a question to ask and I haven't got to it already as part of the stream, my laptop's going to fall over. Hold on a second. Somehow I'd managed to put my laptop on the cable I needed for my soldering iron. But yeah, if you've got any questions to ask me, now's the time. If you want to tag me at TopClack and then ask you a question, I'll make sure I'll be able to see it quite nice and easily. You can ask me about anything. It doesn't have to be keyboard related. It can be other content related. It can be life related. It can be about what I had for dinner. Whatever you like, guys, this is a free zone. As long as it's not going to break Twitch's terms of services, you can ask it and I'll probably answer it. So there we go. Give you guys a couple of minutes to put in some questions. I'm just going to solder a key in each corner, and then once I've done that, I'm going to solder one or two in the center, and then once we've done that, I shall start to answer your questions. Okay. That's all four corners done. That's going to keep us nice and centered. I'm just going to do one in the center, maybe two, and then I'll start to answer your questions. Okay, let's see what you guys are excellent. Apocalypse, got any opinions on SMK second gen clicky switches? No, I don't know enough about SMK switches to be able to answer that question in any great detail. I tend not to like Alps that are clicky or linear. I only like tactile Alps. So that might answer your question without me knowing any more about the subject matter. I'm not a huge Alps fan unless I can use tactile switches. Salmons and Browns being the best of the two. The only other Alps switch I kind of half like is, and I'm aware I just said I didn't like these, is the Monterey Blues. And I only half like those. I have to really be in the mood to use a Monterey Blue board. So there you go. The only other Alps board I have that doesn't have one of those three types of switches in actually uses APC greens, which are 480 gram bottom out and 175 gram actuation, and they're designed for machinery. So when you've got the big start stop buttons in green and red, usually under a plastic cover, they're designed for those. But I do have a full 60% board with those in, and it's a nightmare to type on. They're actually clickies and they don't always click. They don't always press. They don't always actuate. And they're just a bit crap. Okay, lots more questions coming in. Let's get on to the next question. How did you find the Jeopardy game? Did losing points for wrong answers make you nervous? Yeah, there was quite a few questions that I knew the answer to or suspected the answer to. I didn't go for them just in case I was wrong, which was probably the wrong tactic in hindsight. Huey did rob me of one question though. I pressed the buzzer, I answered, I was about ready to answer the question, and he read out the answer before I had a chance to answer it. That was slightly frustrating. Oh, we've got a bent pin there on that one. We need to come back to that switch. I should have checked that beforehand, I usually do. So he, I think it was about what's an offshoot of a project called in QMK, and I was going to say it's a branch, and he said yes, Jay, the answer is branch, before I'd had a chance to answer it. So I didn't lose any points, but that was some points I could have gained there. And I did end up playing more safe towards the end because of Brian getting 4,800 points in the red, just to try and save some face. But I did say at the start that my aim was to end up with a nil score, end up on 0, and that's exactly where I did end up, so I can't be disappointed from that perspective. Next question comes from Saturn OG. How many keycap sets are you waiting on? I've got 6 on the way, LMAO. Last count, 22. 22 group buys I joined that haven't yet shipped. So there are a variety of cat sets. I think there's 1 SA and the rest are GMK. So yeah, there you go. Okay. Don't ask me to list them all because I couldn't. What's your favourite plate material? I plan on joining the 7V group buy, but I'm not sure if I should get poly or alu. I'm trying to move away from metal plates as much as I can. I'm trying to move away to other materials. My favourite has to be carbon fibre, just because I love the sound profile of it and I love the way it feels. But I would vastly pick any kind of plastic plate over a metal plate. So if those are my choices, I would definitely be going POM. Sorry, polycarbonate. Sorry, polycarbonate. Depleted Vespine says, my son has just realised you're not American. I am not American, no. I am not American. I'm British. I've lived in Britain all my life. I'm from an area called West Yorkshire. Originally from a city called Leeds. Now I live about 20 miles away from there, in a village called Shelf. Feel free to Google it. It's spelt as a shelf on the wall would be. That's where I live. It's a tiny little village. But yeah, I've lived within a 50-mile radius all my life. Travelled extensively, but I'm always going to be back here in West Yorkshire in the UK. I can't see me moving away from here anytime soon. Okay, next question comes from Gouty. Male grooming. Do you prune the shrubbery, remove the thicket, or leave it to run wild? It's pruned to perfection, good sir. Or usually is. At the minute, my barber isn't available, and I know what you're talking about, but I'm going to pretend you're talking about my beard. But yeah, my beard needs some attention from my barber as soon as they're back open for business. But who knows? Maybe it'll be thick and full enough at that point that I'll just keep it. Who knows? As I said, we do have one bent pin just over here on the enter key. We are going to go and fix that in a minute. I should have spotted it before we started soldering. I didn't. So we'll fix that in a minute. Last question comes from Lana Like Stick. It says, do you like the Toyota Supra? Love or hate the newer renditions of it? I love the original, not a big fan of the new one, if I'm completely honest. What I really, really do like, though, if we're going to start talking about Toyotas, is the original 1970s Corolla. I think they're really, really cool cars. I've got a friend who's got one. I would love to find one of those to do up and restore at some point here in the UK. If I could find one for 8-9 grand, buy it, put another 20 grand into it, that would be kind of like my next ideal project car. Okay, almost there now on the soldering, guys. Probably got time for one more question if anyone wants to tag me. Again, it can be about anything you like. I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability where I can. Let's catch up with chat. It's not auto-scrolling. Ooh, a profit. Yes, the profit is what we're building right now. Thank you, Sir Jensen, for subscribing for 7 months. I really appreciate that. When you said 22, I thought Mad Lad. Then I counted mine, and I'm not one bit better. Yeah, man, I joined so many group buys. Blind Panda said I'd ask Top Clack. Don't know what the question is, but get back to me. Who owns and runs Geekhack? Drop.com owns Geekhack, or Mass Drop as it used to be known. Anarchy says, talk about how do you prevent desoldering gun clogging up when only doing a few switches? I've had to take mine apart 3 times now because solder keeps getting between the heater and the collection tube. Okay, so I think you've got one very similar to one I use in the office, which is not the same as the FR one, which is just a gun. Let me grab it and I'll show you what I do. So, this isn't in the best kind of condition right now. This is really old. I've never changed the glass thing, so it looks like it's full. It's not, it's empty. It's just, whoops, it's just kind of like all on the sides. Now what I do is I put the rods in the inside. I'll clean it out as much as I can. So here we go, making a mess. So I'll use the rods to clean it as you normally would, push them through, blah blah blah, nice and easy. What the trick to doing this is, and keeping it clear, is when you're desoldering you have to think about what's happening. So the solder's coming here, it's getting sucked up from this point, and it's got to get all the way into this barrel at the end. The easiest way for it to do that is to be horizontal. If you're doing it vertically, it's much harder for it to suck it up vertically than it is to do it horizontally. So I hold it horizontally, and I will hold the PCB up like this, or more accurately usually like this, and I will go like that across the switches, and then I'll flip, when I get halfway down, I'll flip the PCB over and do it the other way. But definitely keeping it horizontal like that will help the flow of the solder into the rear of the tube. If you've got to do it like that, it has to suck much harder, and the solder doesn't always get through. There we go. Hope that helps. Rope's here as well. Good afternoon, Rope. Okay, let's see where we got to. If it still clogs after that point, Anarchy, then it could just be that the width of the barrel isn't wide enough, and I would suggest maybe trying to look for a new barrel for it. Some of the guns aren't great. You can widen the barrel as well if you put, you can still get like tapering rods that you can put down to widen them as well. That could be another opportunity for you to look at as well. Have you ever used a glass plate? No, but I would kind of like to. I did actually speak to a local glass company who was going to make me one out of tempered glass maybe 8 months ago, 10 months ago. I actually paid them a ton of money to try and make one, and none of their efforts were successful. I think they had one plate that actually, another bent pin, I think they had one plate that was actually successful coming off of their cutting service. And that was in borosilicate glass, and by the time 1.5mm, and by the time it got to me, it was broken. So it was just one of those things. It just happened. I'd still love to do it, but I think you have to go thicker. I think you have to do probably 3 or 4mm thick to be able to do it. But then you can't mill it in the same way. So the swings and roundabouts to it. Okay, I'm going to try and have to rip this switch out. I'm going to just try to heat it up. Yeah, that's not going to work. So the switch has north and south facing. So the switch for the ISO enter is just normal facing, but that means I can't get to the clips that hold it in place. That's really frustrating me, because the stabilizers are in the way. Okay, we'll come back to that. We do need to also remove the spacebar one, so let's do that first. Just because we've got a couple of bent pins. Again, this should be a 2-minute job to fix. you go. Okay, that's that in place. Now we'll just resolder that, and then we'll fix the ISO enter key. Okay. What solder sticker is that? It's just a cheap one off of eBay. I tend to use my good one for the car, the Hakko FR, because it's much better and accessible getting in at places where I need it to be. So the reason why I've grabbed this tool is because this actually has narrower prongs on it, which should help me get into the ISO enter key a little bit easier. He says, and this still might be too long. So this is usually why the ISO key gets moved in terms of its orientation. I'm hoping that's enough to pop it out. Just trying to pop it out of the plate so that when I heat up the solder point, it'll just come out. There we go. That's got the badger. Do you know what? We've just done that and now we've bent the other pin. Let's see if we can just quickly make the hole actually visible again. There we go. We will get this in place, I promise. Nope. Apparently again I've bent the pin. What is going on with me today? This is where I don't want to turn the solder gun on for one switch, but at the same time okay, try an unbent pin and just try and get this one in place. Okay, all good there. So I'm just going to solder this switch in now. Okay, all done. That's all of our soldering now done. Pop that all to one side. There we go. Move the coffee out of the way. I've let that go cold, which is my own fault. Okay, the Hakko FR301 is £300. Yeah, it was about that what it cost me, but I tend to use it on the cars more than anything else. For anyone who doesn't know, my other hobby is cars. 7 at the minute, and always looking for more. So the problem with wood is that it swells and contracts with heat and temperature, so I don't think it'd be ideal for plates, if I'm completely honest. Is there a Japanese company that makes an all-wood keyboard? It's also not very good and very expensive, like 1k. Wow, yeah, it sounds like a lot. Balsa plate's okay, you could laser cut a balsa plate. That switch doesn't like ISO. The problem is the problem with it is because the switch orientation is south facing. Normally ISO is twisted one way or the other, but this one isn't, it's just south facing. It means that because of the stabilizer you can't get in to get the clips in front of the back of the switch to lift it out. That was the problem I was having, and then when I was putting it back in I just hadn't desoldered the hole fully, and yeah, I just bent a couple of pins trying to put more ones in. Would I be interested in a wooden keyboard? I'd be interested in any keyboard I could try. Okay, so there we go, that's the build done. Next job is to swap it out and put it in this case. Now I think, as I said before, I think there might be some foam in this just to quieten it down because it is a loud board. So there might be some foam in this case when we take it apart. It's a little while since I've used it, probably 3 or 4 months since I last used the board. So I can't recall if it does or doesn't. So we'll just take the screws out, we'll have a look inside, we'll build it without, and we'll see how it goes. Now this board has already been through a J-score, so we're not going to do a J-score on this particular build. We'll leave the original J-score up, and it is one of the highest scoring boards ever, because it's excellent, let's be frank. It is absolutely phenomenal. And it is about to go into group buy. Now I'm not affiliated, or I'm not shilling or anything when I tell you that it's good. I don't get any royalties or anything like that from mykeyboard.eu, even though there's sponsorship signs there. They don't sponsor this stream, I just like the guys. You know, I don't get any sponsorship from Max or anything else. When I tell you this board is good, I absolutely mean that it's good. It's really good. I love it. I adore it. It's been one of my favourite boards in my collection ever since I picked it up. So, if you are interested in one, guys, please don't fret. This is definitely something you can pick up. Goes together really easily. The infill looks great. Excuse the fingerprints. The board's filthy. Again, it's filthy on the inside as well, just because it's been sat for a while. But the colour is stunning. We did have some foam in there, we can get rid of that. Gone. And then here's the original build in the board as well. This is the nylon plate that we had previously. Flexible. It's actually dried out a lot. It was a lot less. It was a lot more flexible than that when I first got it. That's actually really dried out. It feels almost like plastic now, and that's maybe 12 months old. It also bends as well, does this? If you can see, there's a curve to it. And the reason for that curve is because the plate shrinks and wants to pull everything together, so I'm hoping that the carbon fibre will alleviate that somewhat and hold it all apart as it should be. Because the other thing as well is the spacebar sometimes binds on this, and I think that's because it's starting to curve the board, just because the plate is basically elastic and it doesn't. You can see I bent it off there, but it wants to be straight, and as I pull it straight you can see it stretches it, but it does return back to that kind of curved positioning. So but this board itself is absolutely stunning. Now how it works on 4 pins. You can see here there's a hole in the corner, there's one in that corner as well. On the case, there's one in every corner to be honest, and on the case you can see here that there is, if it focus, you can see just there that there is a little nubbin, and just there as well, and it goes on 4 of those nubbins in the corners. I don't know if that's the same for everyone with an nylon plate that's just taking it apart after a year. I didn't realise it was doing that. Okay, and there you go, guys. You can see that it's now sat on those nubbins in the corners. You can see the red showing through the plate. That happens in all 4 corners. Then we can take the top case, put that on top. Now the idea here is that one of the things that it does is when it sits on those pins, there's actually room for the plate to move up and down. So even when I tighten this in fully, the top case doesn't actually touch the pins themselves. So the plate technically could rise up and lower down a little bit, even though it's sat on those pins. Okay, finish the rest of these off. Do you notice the nylon bend when you type on it? No, the bottom of the PCB bottoms out in the case before that happens. Now, I know that the depth of this is a prototype board, remember. I know the depth on the inside of the case has been changed for the production run, because Max did mention that to me last time he joined one of our streams. So that shouldn't happen on the production run for these. It's one of the things that he's learned from the prototype and has changed. But effectively, like any flexibility in the middle of the plate like that, it would bottom out on the keyboard. On the keyboard case. Now I know that's fixed for the production run, but it happened on this particular run. Okay, screwing these last 2 screws now, and then we'll pop some keycaps on it. We'll take a look, see how it sounds. Which plate would you prefer for the Profit? Honestly, I've not tried all the plate options. I can't tell you which I prefer. I tell you what I'd be tempted to go for. I don't know if Max is offering carbon fibre or not in this round, but there's a reason why I like carbon fibre. So you can hear that the plate assembly moves around. That's because it's not sat on those pins fully. It's not compressed by the top case. There is a slight movement up and down. Although it's on those pins, there is movement up and down. It's not compressed. It's not held in place. Now, whilst you can hear that moving around while I was doing it, you won't hear that once you've got keycaps on it or anything like that. You won't hear that in normal use. It's very much stuck as it is. Now, what you can see here is that there is flexibility in the middle, but it is bottoming out on the case there when I'm tapping. So that has been fixed for the production run. Okay, let's get some keycaps on this bad boy. If he's not doing carbon fibre, anything plastic will be great. Anything plastic will be fantastic. Plastic, fantastic. So as you can see, we are using German keycaps today. These are some of the cleanest die subs that I have. These are original cherry die sub keycaps, as you can see. Nice thick PBT keycaps with die sub legends on them, and they are in German layout. So I'll put these on the board. Board is designed around plastic plates. It's designed around non-metal plates. Yeah, I think it was how the original designation was. Here you look a relic. Keyboard a month box. Now that is an idea. I've actually considered doing something like that, Salvin. $500 a month, you get a keyboard every month. Or $300 a month and you get a keyboard every other month. Or something like that. You could absolutely have some wicked things done that way. Mackerel and polycarbonate. I don't know if anyone's tried that particular version of it, but I think that's quite harder and denser if I remember rightly. So we shall see. Okay. As you can see, these are really clean looking keycaps. Some of my favourite die subs I own. In nearly as good condition as my UK die subs. Pingu, if you're still around, dude, you will have to tell me if I get any of these letters in the wrong place, because I'm pretty sure that they go that way round, but you'll have to tell me if that's not right. Looks at keyboard. Yeah, looks good. Thanks, man. Thanks. No errors so far. Thank you, Depleted Vespine. This might be where it gets slightly more complex. It's the ones that worry me is it's here, 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 and here. Those are the ones I always worry about with when we talk about German keycaps. And I know that these are slightly wrong, but we're going to go with them anyway. There we go. So there we go, guys. We have moved from the Royal Alpha, not Royal Alpha. What set is this? Red Samurai set, the Red Samurai set with the nylon plate, to a carbon fibre half plate with GMK die subs, sorry, cherry die subs, not GMK die subs, cherry die subs in German layout. Looks pretty damn good, right? Can feel it moving around inside. I might have to take this apart and put some O-rings on top just to stop that movement, because that's really loud actually. And I know Max designed this for plastic plates, so you won't get that in the group buy, but it's because there is a tiny amount of movement up and down. So I think I might just do that actually before we do a typing test. Looks clean, right? Do I have an error? Is M key crooked? I don't think so. I think it's just the way the die sub keycaps are. I think it might be the N key, not M key. Actually, none of them are crooked. It's just the gap in between the keycaps. Being vintage keycaps, the gap between them is slightly larger, but they're not crooked. Yeah, weird gap between the N and the M keys. I think that's just how the switches are. It's either a PCB or it's the keycaps, not anything else. We have to take it apart anyway because I just want to put some O-rings on top of the pins just to hold it in place. Again, you won't have to do this on the production run. This is just prototype things. Can we hear it typing without O-rings? I don't want to do it because it'll ruin it. It's not going to sound good because you're going to hear the plate rattling, and I don't want anyone to be unfairly influenced by a sound that's probably not representative of how the boards are actually going to sound. All I want to do is put the O-rings in place to stop the plate moving. That's all I want to put them there for. This is a carbon fibre plate. I think I have some O-rings that'll fit. Yeah, I'm going to have a look in a second, but I think I have some that'll fit. I might have to go in my cupboard to find them, but I think I have some. Oops, there we go. So what's happening, guys, is basically what's happening is the CF has not got the same tolerances on them as the pins have. So you can see there's just a tiny bit of movement in the plate, left to right and up and down. Not up and down, so not away from here, which is what the movement should be, although that is present. This is actually lateral movement, which shouldn't be the case with any plastic plates. It's just the tolerances. So I'm just going to put some O-rings probably inside the case, top just in the corners maybe, or something like that. Just see if we can dampen it out. Let me see if I can find some really quickly, guys. You blackened the profit logo. Yes, I did. Yes, I did do the profit info on the base of the board. That's something I absolutely did. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to use a dab of dielectric grease to hold these in place. So if you haven't done this before, this is basically using dielectric grease to hold the little rubber bump-ons in place, because otherwise they're not going to stay where you put them. In fact, this might be easier to do it this way around. And again, I just want to stop that rattle. I'm just putting a little bit of dielectric grease on these, popping them where I want them to stay, and hopefully the dielectric grease will hold them in place just for a minute or two. And just stop that little bit of noise that we get off the plate. So just position them over the pins. I'm just going to put the top case down, make sure everything lines up, make sure I've not lost any of those. Pin that together, and then I'm going to screw the screws in whilst I'm holding onto the board, and this way nothing is going to move. Once you've got 2 screws in, that will be enough to know that everything's going to be held into place and be fine. Now we can put the board down, do the rest of the screws, and not have to worry about anything moving. As I say, all I want to do is just give a little bit of grip to the plate so it's not moving around. Again, any of the plastic plate choices, you'll never get that noise. It just won't work like that. It won't happen. Carbon fibre is a very hard material, so it's very clacky anyway. So yeah, it's just that I've got part of the prototype board. That might be why Max isn't offering it, because it doesn't work particularly well on this board. It's designed to move, which is why it only works with plastic plates. Yeah, well, carbon fibre is technically a type of plastic. Now, it's designed to move up and down, so it's designed to have some flexibility up and down, but it's not supposed to move laterally. It's not supposed to have movement that way, that way, that way, and that way, which is what we're experiencing before. But as I say, this plate has almost dried out. This is almost wants to break apart. It's really dried out as this. That's gone really hard like a plastic. And it was really flexible like rubber before, like well, it's nylon. And you can see how it's bent the plate in the PCB assembly just over time. You can see it on both sides, like the whole board's bent, and that's just as it's dried over time. It's just started to contract as it's dried, and it's been exposed over time. Now, if I bend it straight, you can kind of see where it should be. It should be somewhere around there, and then you relax it, and it's kind of got a curve to it. But as I say, the last thing I wanted to do was just have the movement up and down on this board. I didn't want to remove the lateral movement, so that way, that way, that way, and that way. I didn't want to have that, and now you can see that's not doing it anymore as well. Also means that the typing experience is now quite flexible. So it is moving a little bit. Now it is bottoming out. Again, the production ones won't do that. This is just a prototype. So the case has got more room inside, but that is bottoming out when I'm typing. Let's grab a cable and plug it in and test that it works. So it was moist when you built it. I wouldn't say it was moist. It was just like, it felt like rubber. But rubber over time dries out and hardens. And yeah, I think that's just what's happened with that particular material. So we'll plug this in, we'll give it a try, and we'll make sure that everything's working on the build. Oh, it's USB-C. I forgot that this one was USB-C. I got the cable out ready for the ANSI, which isn't USB-C. There we go. Let's get up a switch hitter. And if I turn the switch hitter on, you should be able to see it. There you go. So let's test the keys out now, make sure everything's working. Okay, interestingly, the backspace is coming up as tilde, but that's fine. Caps lock is becoming control, but again, that's fine. That's coming up as backspace, so again, the key works, just need to reprogram it. That's coming up as there, so again, just need to reprogram it. Okay, cool. So everything is working as expected. You don't have to moisten your plates, it's just the point is that rubbers dry out over time. That's all I'm trying to say. Taking my words far too literally there, guys. Okay. Yeah, so this does bottom out when typing, so I don't know if you can hear this, but if I put any pressure on it, that's bottoming out like. Whereas if I type normally, I don't know if you guys can see here, but if you look here, you can see that that moves and then it stops. That's where it's just bottoming out. That won't happen on the production run. 100% won't happen on the production run. I know that that's already been fixed. Okay. I'm Canadian, where we speak moistly. This shouldn't be a problem for me. Fair enough. I prefer full plates, I guess. Kind of bottom out sound is kind of nice. Well, that's typing, but if I really hammer it, you can hear it. It doesn't bottom out under normal typing force. Like it doesn't hit the inside of the case under normal typing force. But you can make it do it if you hit it hard. Again, if I zoom in, I might be able to show you this. If I zoom in, so you guys might be able to see there's a little bit of flex. So if I press here, you can see that it moves all around here. There is some movement there. It's really hard to show you guys on stream. But you guys might be able to see that. I don't know. Don't know how well you guys can see that. There we go. Okay, let's give it some typing sound, see what it sounds like. Okay. Yes, Frantic, I'm a 4-finger spacebar user. No, I'd never use a thumb. Never ever use a thumb. The reason why is because when I learn how to type, sometimes my thumb will come up here, but when I learn how to type, I use the ThinkPad, and I had one thumb on the trackpad, and one thumb on the buttons below. So trackpad and the buttons below, and I just learned to type like that, so I could always control my mouse and click around and still type. So I always use my finger on spacebar. Sometimes I go like that. It might look like I'm using my thumb, but that's definitely a 4-finger press. It does sound really good. I've always been a fan of this board. I think it sounds great. It looks great. Just it does bottom out if I type a little bit too hard on it. If I'm a bit too firm with it, and I'm a firm typist, it does bottom out in the middle of the board, but that is what it is. I think I would personally prefer a full plate on this. If the files are still open and available, I think I will probably get a POM full plate for this build. That is definitely what I think I would prefer. I just think the half plate, because it just bottoms out there, and I know it'll be fixed on the production run, and this is just a prototype, but that does just bother me in terms of the sound a little bit. I think I'll do it more often than not. So yeah, so there we go. That's the board, guys. Let's show you off from all angles, so you can see it from the from here. You can see the nice chamfer on the front edge there. See on the side, that's the side profile. Bear in mind that this is with a row 5 bottom row, so these are OG keycaps with a row 5 bottom row, so they'll look huge and tall. Give you a view of the other side. Give you a view of the base. Excuse my fingerprints all over it. You can see that it's got the nice Profit logo infilled there with black paint, and then on the rear you can see that it's got a USB port. Now this does accommodate for any PCB, so you can use USB-C or USB micro or whatever PCB you want in there, so that port size does allow for all of those options, so that's why it's a little bit larger than normal. But there we go. This colour is lovely. I'm a big fan of this colour. You can see I've got my Xbox controller in it and a few other boards and stuff. Big fan of the colour of the board. I think it definitely looks better with this key set on than it did with this one. And I didn't think it looked bad with that on it at all, to be honest. When that key set was on there, I thought it looked quite good. But I think this looks cleaner. This looks neater and tidier. So I'm going to keep it with this on. So there we go, guys. That is the Profit build. Now, we're not going to do a J-score for this. We did a J-score for the Profit once before. I'll get that up and show you it. So let me show you that now. Properties, let me make sure that I'm showing you the right thing. So this is the J-score. So you can see here that we do have the Profit on this row here. Now, we marked this out a long time ago, and we gave it an A grade. So this was a second board to get an A grade. Note that HHKB MX case I'd want on the market right now was my tagline. I still don't disagree with that. I think that was my hot take at the time. I still completely agree with that. I think that's definitely where I feel. I paid £220 for this prototype. That was the price that I paid. It was built with a nylon plate originally. It's now got a carbon fibre plate in it. It's a board that I would never ever want to let go of, to be honest. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, ever sell it, or ever not want to use it. It's a great board and I love it. So there we go. So if you guys are considering getting in on the group buy, please do support Mac, support mykeyboard.eu. Oh, you can't see there. Hold on, let me hide the J-score a second. Mykeyboard.eu, there you go. The tag is there. Go check them out. Go support them. Yeah, Canon Keys as well. I think he's a US vendor. Again, Upas, he did the JO2 for me. He's a great guy. But this is the Profit keyboard. This is really nice. It won't run in this colour, I don't think. But yeah, I'm really glad I've got one. I want to buy another base and a couple of plates for this, so I'm hoping I can get those in the group buy as well. But yeah, definitely one of the better boards on the market for a 60% if you like them neat and tidy in a package like this. It's a great board, absolutely fantastic. I think it'll sell really well. If it doesn't sell 500, I'll be really surprised. If they don't sell 500 units, I'll be really surprised. I think that anything less than 500 units would be a travesty for this board because it deserves to sell that many and more. So there we go, guys. That is the build for today. Now, we do have a second part of the stream where I'm going to be building some Lego. This is some Lego that's been ongoing for a little while. I've been building it for, a couple of weeks now. So I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. Oh, giveaways. We haven't done any giveaways, guys. I've got a ton of stuff to give away. Let's do 4 or 5 really quick giveaways. Let me set something up. So I'm going to give away like 4 games on the trot. So what I want you to do is type in the word profit into chat once I've set this up. So guys, if you type the word profit into chat, PROPHET, I'll copy and paste it into chat now so you can copy and paste it. It doesn't matter how you capitalize it or anything else like that. If you type profit into chat, we're going to give away 3 or 4 games on the bounce, and then once I come back from a quick break where I go to the loo, grab a drink, all that kind of stuff, get the Lego set up, we'll come back and we'll do that. I'll just turn the music back on. I'll literally be away for 2 or 3 minutes. That's all I'll be away. But let's give away a few games. The first game we're going to give away is Killer Is Dead, the Nightmare Edition. So, guys, get your profit, wrong profit, Vespine. Get it into chat and let's give the game away. So the first giveaway is going to be for Killer Is Dead, Nightmare Edition. Let's roll it and see who wins that. So the winner for that is Mac Surfy. Thank you very much, Mac Surfy. I will contact you straight after the stream and I will give you that code. Let's run another one again straight away. So keep putting profit in there if you want, guys. Okay, James is going to send it now. Awesome. So Max Effie, James will send you that game code. The next game we're going to give away is This Is the Police. We're going to give away a game called This Is the Police. Let's roll it again. Depleted Vespine, you are the winner of This Is the Police. I will make sure you are named on that so we can get that out to you as well. So congratulations there. Let's do a couple more really quickly. Keep typing profit in, guys. Cohen Romers, you are going to win the game Full Metal Furies. So Cohen, thank you very much. I know you're a Profit fan as well. I think you've got one as well. You might even have 2, I think. So we put you in there for that. You're going to win Full Metal Furies. Everyone going nuts with the profit now. Last one before we take a quick break. Let's see who wins the last one. Kinkin Crack, great username, Kinkin Crack. You are gonna win the next game in the list, which is Soul Calibur 5. Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6. So there we go. I've pasted those all into chat. AKB James is going to get those over to you guys. I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Whilst I take that 2-minute break, I'm going to nip to the loo. I'm going to get the Lego back out. As soon as I come back, we'll give away 3 or 4 more game codes, and then we'll crack on with the Lego build. So if you type !build into chat, I'll do it for you guys. You'll be able to get up the Lego guide that we're going with. So that link there, that is the Lego build that we're doing. I'm gonna just get it up now as well, so I've got it ready for when I come back, because otherwise I'll forget. Okay, so I've now got that up. I need to find out where I was actually. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where we'd got to on that build. Okay, so I think we had done bag 5. I think we're just about to start bag 6. So, in fact, no, we've done bag 6 as well. I think we're on bag 7 then. I think that puts us on bag number 7. Yes, because all that's done. Let me see if I can find out where that starts. Okay, so bag number 7 starts on page 131. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes, and that's what I'll be building. You'll see it here. Everything else will be gone. So please do bear with me. Let me get some music that I can share with you guys from YouTube whilst I'm not here. And I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Hey folks, I'm back. I'm just about to get the Lego and we'll start the build. So this is where we got to the other day. I'll flip the camera around in a second, but you can see it down here in the bottom small camera. I didn't want to leave you guys alone for too long. I need the next set of bags though. So we're on bag 7. I need to now make sure I've got all of these. So I'll just get the bags ready while we're talking away. I hope everyone got their game codes okay from James AKB. So I'm going to get 2 or 3 bags out. So I've got bag 7 here. I'm going to find bag 8 and 9 as well. Basically just have a box full of bags of Lego here. Okay. So I've got plenty of bags of Lego now ready. I'll chuck the rest in the bag. And then we can start the build nice and easily from there. Let's flip the cameras back over and then you guys will be able to see. Ta-da! There you go. So we're going to be building bag 7 now. We're going to be building onto here. Once I've got this bag ready, then we shall do another giveaway. Lots and lots of Lego parts. Noxygen says, Jay, I miss you. Subscribes for 4 months. I'm back, dude. I'm back. Thank you very much, Noxygen, though. Thank you. Nothing to miss before, though. I've been on more streams in the past month than I've done in the past half year, I think. Olsen, thank you very much. Hello again, says Depleted Vespine. Thank you very much for coming back. I hate how they use colours that don't fit the model on the inside just so you can't build other stuff with it. Why else is there neon green in this? That's a good point. I assume it's just because that's what they have a lot of lying around or something like that. I didn't realise it was so that you couldn't build other things with it, but that kind of makes sense. Okay, so those of you following along, we are starting bag 7. That means we're on page 131, step 191. So we're going to start carrying on from there. As soon as I've done the first couple of pages, we'll start to do some more giveaways, because I completely forgot about doing them during the whole build. No one reminded me. Okay, so I need 2 of these. I'll try and zoom in the camera just a touch, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, that might be slightly better just here. There we go. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing now a little bit closer, which might help. So as I say, I'm on page 131, sorry, 132, step 191. So if you guys do want to keep up with me, keep me honest, point out any mistakes I'm making, because with Lego, there's bound to be a few mistakes. It can be easy to make mistakes with Lego. Just need 2 of everything here, so I'm just getting 2 of all of the parts it tells me to. Okay, and then we need to build this up like so. So take a 3, putting 1 on top. And then we take this, put that on like so. And then that goes there. And then that goes in there. Okay. So that's what we're building 2 of. So building that one. If my camera decides to focus. Focus, please. There you go. So we're building 2 of these. And then that is going to go on here, just like so. I'll build up the second one. Why else is there? Oh, you talked about that. How long have you spent on this so far? About 4 hours, I think. But bear in mind that when it's streaming, it's not real time, because I spend a lot of time chatting to you guys. I haven't spent any time off stream doing this, so this is all basically stream time that I've spent on it. Mentally, I am by far the first person to do Lego streaming. There have been far more people than me do Lego streaming. You absolutely go nuts and do Lego streaming. The more content you put out, the more I've got to watch. So go for it. Okay. The next thing we've got to put in is 2 of these. I do like these Technic parts. I think these work really, really well. So we're going to push that into there, all the way in. Nice. That's going to pin that in place. And we're going to do the same just on this side as well. I'm trying to do this blind now, so I might have to just rock this on its side. This thing is huge. There we go. That was easier to do like that. And then we've got 2 of these little arrow things to put on, these little corner pieces to put on. That's going to go there and there. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just like so. Found some Lego manuals at home from the late 70s. They're so nice. Yeah, I have got the actual manual for this, but I'm not using it because it's easier to see the digital one up here. But yeah, I do like the old manuals. Yeah, not bad. It's alright when it's streaming. It takes forever. My uncle streamed when? I don't have any by uncles. I do remember them though. Okay, let's do the next step and then let's do a giveaway. Okay, so for this one I need 12. Is it these? I can't actually see what these are. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, 12 of these little guys. Never seen those before. We've got to stack 6 up on each side. Hope if I got them the right way around. So we're creating these little guys. So I need to do another one of those. Do you like puzzles as well? I love puzzles, yes. One of my favourite things to do that just relaxes me is things like the Rubik's Cube, the little puzzles where you've got to try and put things in boxes. This room is absolutely full of them. I've got one of the little puzzles that you've got to put in the box just over here. My Rubik's Cube never leaves my desk. It's always just here. Anything that's puzzly or fun like that, I absolutely love spending time with. I find it's a good way to relax, especially if I've got like a hard day at work or something like that. Anything that's puzzle fun related, yeah, I kind of enjoy that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, so that's going to go on the outside of there like so, and that's going to go on the outside of there like so. Next thing I need, still on the same step, is 2 of these. These are kind of like blocks with stuff on the front as well. So I need 2 of those. I need 2 of these corner pieces. I need 2 of these little chevron-y pieces. Let me see if I can find one. Oops. 2 of these chevron parts. I think that's what we're looking for. Yeah. And then we need 2 of the blue squares as well. Okay. So if I'm looking at this, it looks like I need to go like that, and then like that, and then like so, and then I need to replicate that on the other side of the build. Okay, and then these little chevron-y pieces just go on the ends like so. Got to get going, Catch. Thank you very much for being here, dude. I appreciate having you on stream. I think we'll do another giveaway as soon as I finish this step. There we go. Okay, I think that's everything on this step. That looks about right. So we get to do some more complex stuff in a second. Let's do another giveaway. So let me see. So the word that you're going to have to put in is Lego. L-E-G. Oh, in fact, actually, no, we know Lego doesn't work. Batman is going to be the code that you need to put in. So you can put the code Batman into chat. And we're going to give away the code for the game Warhammer 40,000, The Dawn of War 3. That's what we're going to give away the code for. So put Batman into chat. Batman is what you should be putting into chat. I'll do the next 2 steps whilst you guys are doing that. And then we'll give away that game. Okay. 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 Like so. Okay, okay. Let's do 4 of these. There we go. And where do these go? This is gonna go. Oh, okay. I see. I see. It's gonna go there. And there, and there, and like so. There we go. Okay, let's give this away and see who wins the Warhammer game. Tectonic Plate 01, thank you very much. Follow us since 11th of August 2017. Long time follower, long time subscriber. Thank you very much, dude. Tectonic Plate 001, you are the winner. I'll put that onto the game for James. He will make sure you get your code. Who's the best Batman? Michael Keaton, without a doubt. Michael Keaton. Okay, it looks like we've got some more complexity coming up. This is a very, very fiddly build. I'm not going to lie. So I'm just going to make sure I've got all of the parts I need for the next step here. Okay. Just trying to make sure I have the right thing isn't easy. Some of the diagrams are not as clear as they could be. Okay. Hold up, how does that work? Okay, interesting. How it's telling me to actually do it doesn't seem to work. Okay. I could just be misreading the instructions here, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. Okay, let's go with that. Adam West, no. Keaton's my favourite. Bale's alright, but Keaton's great. Keaton was the quintessential Batman for me. But that may be because just of my age. That was kind of the film I grew up on. Okay, well, that's all of those in place. Let's move on to step 196. 196 now. So again, I'm just going to get all of the parts that I need together. And then we'll move on to the next step in a second. Some of these parts are so small it's really difficult to find them. This is where people who are watching me do this. Some people pay really close attention, then call me and say, "Oh, you did this wrong," and I'll get a message a day later saying that you've missed this part out or something. And usually they're right. Usually they are right. And then we need 2 of these. Okay. Okay, there we go. Best Joker, Jack Nicholson. I'd still go Heath Ledger, I think. Still go Heath Ledger. I'll definitely go for Heath Ledger. I think he played it in such a new way and a new style that we didn't really see coming, or certainly I didn't see coming, and I wasn't kind of expecting him to be as good at the role as he was. I mean, Heath Ledger for me was always, the Brokeback Mountain guy. I didn't think of him as an actor that would work well in that particular role. But I was very surprised in a very good way. Okay, starting to make some good progress here. Maybe do this next bag. This next cup of parts, and then we'll do the next giveaway as well. Come on. There we go. So if Mintley's still watching, I'm really interested to know what Lego models she's got coming to build, because I definitely want to watch that. Most Lego models interest me, but I'm definitely interested to know what you've got coming, Mintley. Okay. Jesse Mackey's raiding with a party of 58. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. We are building Lego today. Thank you very much, guys. Normally we build keyboards on this channel. We've done the keyboard build and now we're moving on to Lego. This is the Lego Batmobile. But thank you very much, guys, for joining. I've just realised my camera's kind of dropped, so it's not quite horizontal anymore. Let's get the sponsors visible as well. There we go. Nice. Nice and easily done. The last Lego I built was a Technic Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I have the same model. I have not built it. It's still in the box. Oh, the Hogwarts Tower is really cool. Yeah, that's a really cool one. I don't have that either. But yeah, this is Bomb. No, this is Lego. This is the Lego Batmobile. But always good to see you, Raid. Salvan CNC is now hosting me. Thank you very much, Salvan. Good to see that you've got your Twitch set up. So if you don't already, go and follow Salvan, because Salvan will be doing some streams, I'm sure. And he is an excellent guy to have around. If you like machining, you will like Salvan. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, you're hosting me now, which means that anyone who goes to your channel can see this channel, which is not a bad thing. Okay. Okay, we're now on step 200. There was a new button and I clicked on it. Fair enough. That means you're just hosting us on your channel. If you want to follow along with the build, guys, you can use that link at the bottom. We built the keyboard side of it. We're now doing the Lego build. We're going to do some giveaways in a couple of minutes. We've got some more games to give away. Anyone is eligible to win them. Basically just Steam codes, but we're trying to give away as much as possible for people. But yeah, if you want to follow the Lego Bricks instructions, we are on page 141, step 200. And that looks like quite a complex bit that we've got to do. So I'm just going to get all of the parts ready here. Make sure I'm ready to put this together. Once I've done this step, which is kind of involved, guys, we'll then do the next giveaway. I'm just going to get all the parts ready. Eight of those, and then we need 4 of these. There we go. I think this might be the last part that we build out of this. Two of these barrel pieces. There we go. And then 8 of these corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've got a few extras there. Let's move this way a little bit. Enemy's friend is heavily into photography. Oh no, sorry, Depleted Vespine is heavily into photography. Fair enough. Yes, I'm terrible at photography, so that's not my strong suit. If you follow my Instagram, you will see that that's not my strong suit. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the instructions here and build this part up as quickly as I can. Try and make sure you guys can see what I'm putting together. All my keyboard pictures are horrible. Same, man. My keyboard pictures are terrible. Okay, interestingly, that clips on there. How does that work? Oh, I'm just supposed to rest in the middle, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Not quite sure how I'm supposed to get this piece in place. Okay. So apparently the idea here is that this sits in the middle. I see why. I've got it built the wrong way. I've just got it put in the wrong way. I've got it. Yeah. I've realised why I've got it the wrong way around. Yeah, I see what I've done wrong immediately. There we go. Okay, so that's that. And then we put that here as well. Excellent. And then we're just going to build around this with these round parts. Just like so. And then just on this side we've just got to put some more parts on. We're just going to put these in place. Okay, so that's one of these done. We've got to build two of these. Glad to see that you guys are following on though, Vogon, that you're actually following what I'm doing. Should be able to go from memory for most of this part. Okay. As soon as these are on the model, we'll do the next game giveaway. Give away the next Steam code. So it makes an opening in the middle. Yeah. It's your OCD. You just got to make sure I get it right. I see how it is. Okay, so that's those two done. Now, how do we put these on here? Oh, okay, I see. Just like so, and just like so. So they're clearly going to have something rotating off the sides. That makes sense. Okay, let's do the next giveaway. The next game we're going to give away is called Insurgency. So I just want you to put that into chat. I'll copy and paste the word in so you get the spelling right. But that is going to be the word to put into chat in just 1 second. Don't put it in until I say. Okay, if you put it in now, it will count. So if you've already put it in before I said now, do it again. "42" says Derek. It's always going to be 42, isn't it? Oh, in surgery. Yeah, Mount Everest. In surgery on Mount Everest. That sounds like a good idea. While you guys are just popping into there, I'm going to just have a look at the next step because there's not too much left on this bag. This should be relatively easy and quick for me to put together. Okay. Okay, and that is that bag done with. Okay, you guys have had plenty of time. Never mind, I have that one for some reason. No worries. Okay, let's roll it. Let's see who the winner for this one is. For Insurgency, Enemy's Friend 22 is the winner. So there we go. Yeah, it spins. It spins, and it's like these gun turrets as well. These gun turrets raise and lower if I twist this around. And the steering column, if I turn this, you will see that the steering column actually works as well. Oh, reroll. He has it. Okay, reroll. So the winner is the Bat Kev. There you go. The Bat Kev, very fitting. The Batmobile. The Bat Kev. There you go. That's the reroll. So you win Insurgency. There we go. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you for keeping me honest. Okay, we're now on to bag number 8. Bag number 8. It was meant to be. Yeah, the fitting username for that particular giveaway. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start off with one of these. And we're going to go like so. And we're going to go like so. And then we need 4 of these. Okay, and then we've got another 2 to go. Pork Chop Express, hello, welcome to the stream. Okay, so that's that piece. Then that's going to sit. Where does this go? This is the tricky bit, working out where everything goes. Wait, that's not long enough. So I've used a part that doesn't actually fit. So this bar is the wrong bar. I suspect it's one of these that I need from one of the other bags, because that doesn't look quite long enough. Let's check these other bags out, see if it's in one of these bags. It's not in there, but it is in here. So quickly catch back up to where we were. Doesn't tell me that it's not in the bag, but oh well. Okay. Okay. Gives it some more stability across the middle there. Nice. Surf Fortuna, thank you very much for the 10 months of subs now. Currently a 6-month streak. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Okay, now we're going to get onto the next half of the build, or the next part of the build. Need quite a few bits for this one, so I'm just going to pull all of those together first. Okay, so let's start putting this together. See, if Salvin's still watching, I reckon he was a fan of Lego when he was a kid. The code should be for Steam, the back Kev. Reach out to James AKB, he'll be able to point it out to you if you're stuck with that. Okay. Salvin would make aluminium Legos, artisan Legos. I think they already exist. I think you can get them. Of course, they're not officially licensed, but I have seen them before. Oh wait, have we done this wrong already? Yeah, we have. We've done this wrong already. I was at the machine, you heard your name. How on earth can you hear your name when you're at the machine? We were just saying that you, if you were into Legos, you would make aluminium Lego key pieces. So you'd make these out of aluminium. And I think people already have made them. I have seen some before. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I can't imagine what it would cost to build something like this kit out of aluminium. You did nothing wrong, Salvin. You've never done anything wrong. Okay, so that's that part already built. Now we're going to slip this into the case. And I think it goes like so. Just starting to really tie all of this front end together now and make it really rigid and strong. Okay, now it looks like we've got some more complexity in here. Oh wait, now we pushed that in, is that what we do? Okay, I see. So we put these in before, and now we're actually using them to... So these were only partially in before, these pieces that I'm pressing now, these ones here. And what we're doing now is we're actually pushing them all the way in. Or we will do when it aligns. Just like so, and that's just locking everything together again. Okay, now we need 2 red pieces, and the 2 red pieces are going to go in here and tie that together, and then in here as well, just like so. That makes it all a little bit more rigid. And then there's 2 blue pieces as well that we need to put in. Trying to work out where these go. They go there and there. Yeah, okay. Thought about it, and yes, there are a few people who make those in the machinist community. Yeah, I thought there would. Yeah, as a little calling card deal. That's nice. That's nice. Tolerances look like a nightmare. I can imagine. There's a steel axle that Brick Experiments use. Nice. Yeah, I can't imagine wanting to even consider how to make Lego pieces that work with all of the tolerances that you need. Okay, apparently there's 2 little arches as well that we need to pop in. We'll go here and here. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start building up some bits around the sides again here. So again, a little bit more involved. So I need 3 of this shape. Hold on, we've got 2 parts that we haven't used here. Let me just go back and see where I was supposed to put these in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm pretty sure I used all of those. Pretty sure I used all. Must have counted out 10 instead. Okay. Okay, so we need 3 in that direction, and 3 in the alternate direction. Two of these baseboards. 2 of these. And then 2 of these kind of engine blower mount type pieces. Okay. Where the hell do these go? Okay. Just like so. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're building. Just clips in to the side, just like so. It's starting to come all together now. So I'm on step 207 now. We'll do the rest of this bag and then we'll do another giveaway. Because I like to give away games. Who doesn't like to give away games? Keep people entertained during lockdown. Give them something to do. Okay. This looks like it's going to be a fun build. Okay. It's almost like a mini exhaust pipe that we're building here. Let's make 2 of these. That's 1. This is 2. Okay. And then what we've got to do is we have to put this onto here and angle it up towards the top. Like so. Right. Kind of links up there. And then we need to do the same on the other side. Put those in place. And then we've got 2 more to put on. And these basically have this kind of shape to them. Now working out where these go is the problem. Oh, I think they go like this into, oops. I think they go into here. Like so. And then into here like so. Come on. There we go. So that all ties together now on the sides. Right, okay. Another more involved bit to build here. So we need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 of the corner pieces. I need 2 of these little claw things. I'm not sure if you guys can see those. 2 little claws. 2 black connectors. 4 blue ones. And then 2 actual tubes. Okay, there we go. So I've got to build 2 of these. Let's build them in parallel. Okay, and then in with those, add another barrel piece on. Oh, okay, and push the tube down inside, and then clip that onto the end. Push the tube down inside, and clip that onto the end. Okay. Just to show you guys what we're doing here, we're putting so this is where I realise I've made a mistake here. Typical that I have to go back and fix my mistakes. Easily done. Luckily, it's not too difficult to do this particular fix. There we go. So what we're going to do is going to push the blue bit into that hole that we just moved, and then the black bit is going to go into there, just like so. That's now going to nicely all hold together. Okay, last piece from this bag, I think, or last couple of steps, and then we'll do the last giveaway for this particular bag. Okay. So we need to take this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, let's build 2 of those. And bit Steam codes just PM. How can we support your giveaway efforts, Jay? So if you want to support, you just need to give us some Steam codes, as James is mentioning now. So if you've got some Steam codes you want to give us, then just send me some Steam codes. If you want to buy someone some Steam gift cards or something like that, then we can absolutely arrange that as well, whichever fits for you, good sir. Okay, does this mean I've built this one the wrong way? It does. Does it? Does it? No, that's right there. And then that's going to go inside. So we're just all these little parts are just strengthening stuff up now. It's just adding to the strengthening of parts. Okay, those are all in the right place now. And then we're just going to move on to step 210. We're actually going to come a bit further back now. We're going to be here in the build. Okay. And these are just going to pin these legs upright so that they can't move. That's what that particular build there does. It means that they can't move now. They're now pinned in position. And that's that bag done. Excellent. Okay, so that back, Kev, thank you very much for the subscription. Really appreciate that. Salvin giving away a full brass keyboard. Doom Eternal code incoming. Excellent. Yeah, send it to James. Sort it out with James. He's my point man. So if you've got a Doom Eternal code incoming, we'll give that away right at the end of the stream today. Next up, so for the next giveaway, we are going to give away Worms WMD. So Worms WMD. And I just want you to type in Worms into chat once I've put it into Nightbot. So if you type Worms now, then it will make you eligible for the next giveaway, which is Worms WMD. So Worms into chat, WORMS, just like I've pasted into chat now. If you pop that in, we'll get you eligible, and then we'll give that game away in just 1 second. Pingu's sending me links of things to buy. Yeah, I really like that Pingu. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I really, really want that. that is awesome. I've added that to my watch list. I will be trying to bid on that. I'll give that a few $100 easily. Okay, so you guys are putting Worms into chat. Let's give it another minute or so because we need to open up the next bag. We're only going to do one more bag of Lego today. All right, let's give that away. Let's see who wins it. Desp Key, you are our winner. Desp Key, thank you very much for that, James. If you can make sure that Desp Key gets his winnings, I've put the name into the folder for you. And if Salvin is arranging for us a Doom code, we'll give it away right at the end of the stream. I've actually got to play that yet. It's one of the things that I have to play, and I haven't even touched it yet because I've been playing too much Final Fantasy VII. Okay, let's do bag 9 now. Yeah, but so is Final Fantasy VII Remake, Salvin. That's really good as well. Ooh, it looks like we get a character in this bag. There is a character in this bag. I think I know who it is. So let's get the character out and put this together. There we go. So now we've got two characters. We've got Batman, and let's see if anyone can guess who this other character is. Anyone want to hazard a guess as to who this green character is? Anyone got any ideas which character that is? Let's see if you guys can guess. I'm sure one of you will be able to. Right then, let's crack on with the build. Final Fantasy VII is not on PC though. Yeah, buy a PS4 then. There you go. Yeah, I saw your Insta, Salvan, because just before that you'd said here are the I think it was the Oxy 80s brass things, and you said you couldn't go to that side because it was all Keycult parts. So I remember that. Definitely Robin, right? Sure. If you think that's Robin, sure. Let's go with that's that. Let's go with that's Robin. Let's go with that. Well done, guys. Okay. So now we're going to be on... Oh, she's actually got a camera as well to build. Again, that might give you an idea as to who it is. Let me see if I can find that in here. She has a little camera accessory. Here it is. Do I need to build anything onto that? Oh yeah, there's 3 parts to it. Oh man. Tiny little parts. What are the parts? I can't even see them. They're that small and that tiny, I can't even see them. Oh wait, is that one? That looks like one. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not one. Oh gosh, I can't even tell which parts I'm supposed to be putting on this camera here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll come back to the camera. I'll give her the camera for now, and then whatever parts left over, I'll be able to see them a little bit more easily. And we'll see what it should be. But there we go. She's got a little camera now. Definitely Robin, right? Yeah, best answer of the night is that. If I could give away a prize for giving a crappy answer, that's what I would give. Okay, so where are we up to? Right, okay, so I need 2 of those. There we go, 1, 2. I then need 2 of those. 1 and... Man, I'm terrible at finding these parts. 2. 2 little chevron lips. 1 and 2. And then 2... 1... Oh my god. I can't believe I can't find this. 2. There we go. Right, okay, so what we got to do? So we got to take that and... Okay, so that's wrong. That's right. Okay. So that's not the right piece, but that is. Okay. Okay, so that's those 2 parts built, and then that's gonna sit on here like so, and that's gonna sit on there just like that. There we go. Okay, now we need 4 of the corner pieces. And these are going to go around parts we've just put in place. Again, this is just all about reinforcement and bringing everything together, making it tough and strong. Right, okay, we need 2 flat pieces that are smooth on top. That's 2. We need 6 silverish discs. 6, that's 6, and then we need 2 of the bars. I've got 3 prongs on, 3 studs. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. And where do we put these? Okay, so that goes there, and we'll try and build both sides up at the same time. And then that goes there, and that goes there, and then we're going to put that in there, that in there, and then we go there. Okay. That's those done. Okay. Varden says Batwoman as well. Yeah. Of course, it's Batwoman. Okay, so let's start off with this. So we need to start off with a part that looks like so. Nice and simple. In fact, no, that's wrong. There we go. Nice and simple that way. And then we need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to put these underneath, just like so. There we go. And then we're going to take that, put that there, and we're going to take that and put that there. So building up this kind of front piece here that you can see. Okay, and then we're going to take that, pop it in here. I'm going to take this, and that folds the other way. So effectively building that shape. Okay. Batgirl. You guys are just naming every character you can now, I think. Okay. So we're on step 218 now for those following along. And we're going to move on to 219. Okay, and then 220. So just building up the front of these now with the studs visible. Okay. And then we need to flip it over, and then on the base we're now going to put two of these, and that's going to go just there like so. Okay, so that's the piece we built. And then we're going to put this in here somehow. I feel like it's going to have to go like so. That doesn't seem to want to play. Okay, I see why. There we go. There we go. So I think the next step's going to be to do the same on the other side, and it very much is. So we're going to start with this piece, and then we're going to start by putting that into position, and then next step we're going to put one of these over here, and I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but I made one already, so I think we'll be all right. He says, I'm not sure that he's actually doing it right. Okay, that looks good. Is this Valorant? Yeah. This is Valorant, sure. If that's what you want it to be, it's everything you want it to be. It's Valorant, it's Destiny, it's whatever game you'd like it to be. If you do build, not keyboard, if you do the build command, that might help you a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Okay, we definitely built this slightly wrong, but nothing we can't fix. You played Destiny, Che? I used to play Destiny a lot. I played an awful lot of Destiny 1. I had a clan, everything. Probably put 3,000 hours into that game. Destiny 2 came out, I probably put maybe 600-700 hours in, and then I've not touched it since. Which is really sad, but it's one of those things. I do miss the game a lot. I miss the whole raiding. We used to raid every Tuesday night. I used to love that. So I do kind of miss that. But yeah, my clan just kind of stopped talking, and we kind of just didn't carry on, really, and simple as that. These things happen. It was just after that I started streaming because I needed something else to do with my time. And here we are. Here I am building Lego and keyboards on stream for your viewing pleasure. And I probably wouldn't be doing that if I still was into Destiny as much as I used to be, because that did used to take up all my free time. Hey Jay, and this season of Destiny 2 is kind of butt anyway. Yeah, I've not really played much of Destiny 2 at all, to be honest. Like, since the original game came out, I haven't really played much of any Destiny, to be honest. Like, I did like the first 3 months maybe up until Christmas, and then I haven't played it since. Okay, so that's all that into place. Yeah, okay, looking good. Exactly the same for me. Game died in D2. Loved the Vault of Glass raid. Yeah, I played all of the raids in year one. I had the platinum trophy for it and everything. We did the flawless raid, everything. Absolutely should love it, but yeah, D2 has things went a different way, I'm afraid. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just in this area here and this area here. So we've got a few bits to put in here, I think. Do the two sides in parallel, and then I can make sure I'm doing the far side right, because the instructions don't actually show me what the far side should look like. So I'm just going to do it at the same time, and then I can mirror my moves so I know what I've done and what I haven't done. Okay. Do you know of any ISO supporting split keyboards currently marking? Asking not for a joke, for a friend. Yeah, the VEA supports ISO because I have that. I don't know of any other split keyboards that do, if I'm honest. Yeah, the Virgo is kind of split, but it's not. It's kind of Alice style joined together. So that's kind of close, but not exactly. Okay, need a few bits for the next bit. We're almost through this this bit here. So, James, can you confirm? Did you get the code for Doom Eternal? Because if you did, we can give that away shortly. Or Salvin, if Salvin can confirm that it's been sent. Endgame is weak with Trials right now. Proper incentive. Oh, is Trials back? See, that was one of the big things that was missing with D2 for me, was Trials of Osiris. There was no good PvP option, and PvP was where I spent probably 90% of the time at the end of D1. I went flawless multiple times, thoroughly enjoyed Trials, thoroughly enjoyed pretty much all of PvE and PvP. Whoops. Now we drop that inside it. How on earth are we going to get it out? There we go. This thing is going to weigh an absolute ton when it's done. Okay, and then these are going to go in here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Sure did. Excellent. Okay. What about the doppelganger? Oh yes, the doppelganger, but that's not actually run yet. That's not actually gone into group buy just yet. I missed my Thorn, the nerf that got into the ground. I remember playing that with that in D2 though at some point. I feel like when I did try and go back to it, that I'd come back into it, I'd had Thorn and I had to do another quest for it or something like that. Forgive me if I'm wrong, I do apologise. I'm sure I played with that in D2. But yes, I used to love it in D1. The first time I went flawless in D1 was with Thorn at my side and a sniper rifle. Man, I missed that game. Okay, almost there now. Okay, got to build some bits for this next move. Make sure I've got plenty of space. Okay. And then on this side it wants to be slightly different. These are side specific parts that we're putting together here. Those in place, and then that goes there, that goes there. Okay, and then where are these going? I see, that's clever. Also, almost impossible to fit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the bits for her camera were what I thought they were. There we go. Camera done. Whew. Okay, so that puts us on to bag 10, but it's 11 PM, so I think it's time for us to give a game away. There's 54 people watching right now, and we're going to give away Doom Eternal, which is a pretty big game right now. That's pretty big. It does require you to have the Bethesda launcher, so make sure you've got that. But we're going to give away Doom Eternal. So for the giveaway, I just want you to type Doom into chat. And this is courtesy of Salvin, Mr. CNC man himself. So if you want to try and win the new Doom game, put in Doom into chat. This is for Steam, but you'll need the Bethesda launcher. Just put Doom into chat, just type in Doom, DWM, and let's give this game away. But this is a pretty big game, so hopefully we'll get plenty of people going for it. Medieval Genius is in, James is in, Lubed Helios is in, Vespine's in, Surf Fortuna's in, Enemy's Friend's in, Vogon's in. Salvin, so lonely. Why are you lonely, man? Why are you lonely? Right, so this is up to step 236 now, and it's still not even half done. We've still got so much more to do, but it's starting to take shape. It's starting to look good. It actually bows under its own weight. You can see here that it's not actually flat. It actually bends under its own weight now. But it's getting pretty hefty. But look at the detail. super cool. Can't wait to finish the build off and get it all fully done and looking good. I've played Doom since the first one. I'm pretty sure I have as well. Yeah, it flexes. Yeah, it has flex. Next time we get onto some build, I'm going to try and build some of this during the week as well. So I'll try and do bags 10, 11 and 12 during the week at some point, and we'll see where we get to. But yeah, okay, give it another 30 seconds, guys. Can we get a Lego typing test? You can get a Lego steering test. Let me mute the music. Can you hear this? It's pretty cool, right? We can also put the gun turrets up and down. You see here. That's really hard to turn. I think there's going to be like a mechanism at the back at some point, but they effectively go up and down. And the J-score. Maybe we'll J-score the whole thing. Must be relief cuts around the seats. Yeah, you've got relief cuts here around the seats. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, let's give away the game then. Let's give away Doom. So this is to win the new game, Doom Eternal, from Salvan. So thank you very much for donating this, Salvan. Blind Panda 248. Blind Panda, thank you very much. You have won the giveaway. James will be in touch with your code shortly. So thank you very much. There you go. Congratulations. Thank you, Salvan. Thank you, Blind Panda. Right, okay, let me zoom back out because I feel like that's far too zoomed in. There we go. Oh, the camera's twisted and moved and God knows what else. But anyway, it's fine. I'm going to go and finish tidying up the office because I've made a mess in here tonight, just chucking stuff around while I've been streaming. And then I'm going to try and get an early night because I've got to get up early to go to the post office in the morning because carbon fibre plates need posting. So I'm going to try and post some of those tomorrow. And then I've got work, which sucks. But hey, it is what it is. So thank you very much to everyone who's watched today. Thank you very much to everyone who's stuck around for the whole 3 hours we've been streaming. If that's you, thank you very much. If you joined later on, thank you for joining later on. We'll be giving more stuff away on the next build stream, which will be on later on in the week. I'm not going to quote a day, maybe Wednesday. I'll try and do some more on this. Give away some more games, still plenty of codes left. And then we'll be back on Thursday with Top Clack the Show, and then back on Sunday with my next build stream. And we'll probably be building the next Borsdorf next week. I'm going to build it with Salmon Alps. So, yeah, if you're in the mood for a Borsdorf and you want to check it out, I'll be building one next week. Thank you very much. Cool. Right then, guys, I shall see you later. Thank you very, very much for your time. I love you all. Thank you very much, and have a good night. Stay safe. Stay at home.